G'day viewers, welcome back to part 2 of Stockpot 1 cleanup, whatever you want to call it, refine or gold receive recovery. Anyway, nothing about that. I started filming part 2 some time ago, probably about a month ago. Or maybe not that long ago, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. And we've had some stinking hot weather, like it's been a really hot summer. The average day is around 40 degrees, which is over 100 for people in America. And I had the footage sitting on my laptop, on the desktop, and yesterday I went and cleaned it up, got rid of a whole pile of things on my desktop. And unfortunately I also got rid of the footage, kicking myself. So I'm going to have to just catch up to where I was. So what I did is, see if I can turn this camera around. Okay, so I had the liquid in there, as you know, and I started pulling the liquid out, and what was left over when it all started getting stirred up, I put into these 2 buckets. Now they were full, and just the heat that we've been out here has evaporated a lot of it down. It gives you an idea how much has evaporated. That's how hot it's been. It's ridiculous. I haven't even been out here in weeks. So I started getting this barrel ready. I had a piece of C channel about so wide, about so thick, and like it was right up to the top here. And I looked in here this morning, can barely see it. There it is down there, and you can see the bubbles and everything. Everything's reacting down there. So look how far down it's got. It's dropped all this way. You can see the scrape marks as it started coming down by itself as it got eaten away. That's a big piece of C channel. So it's working. I'm going to have to find some more steel at some stage to put in there. I'm a bit bummed out that I didn't keep the footage. I'm really sorry. I don't like doing videos where they just cut to the end, as you know. But I'm going to have to just run with it and do what I can. So I'm going to slowly and carefully take out some liquid. I'm only just touching the surface. I'm trying not to stir it up. And pour it into here. I'll bring that a bit closer. It's not too far off the bottom. So that's as far as I'm going to go with that one, because I don't want to risk stirring anything up. And then I'll do this one now. Today's the first fairly cool day we've had in a long time. And even then, I've had to come out here at now at 6 PM when it started to cool down a little bit to do this video. It's been ridiculous. But that's Western Australia for you. We always have all the hot weather. The east coast has been stormy and raining, and as usual we're getting all the heat. And what I'm going to do, as I said in the last part but you didn't get to see, is I'll get down to the point where I should be down to the precious metals, and then I'm going to just fill it up completely with water and to dilute all these chemicals, and I'll end up tipping this bucket into this bucket when I'm done here to amalgamate any precious metals that are in there, get them together in the one bucket. And I figure that by filling it up with water, diluting this liquid till it's a light green, letting it settle, and then doing what I'm doing now, pouring off the top, and then filling it up again, and keep doing that. It'll get lighter and lighter, and I'll be able to see the precious metals at the bottom. It's another reason why I wanted to put them in these white buckets, because in here, black bottom, black liquid, black powder, you wouldn't see it. I only bought this tub to use for my high banker to recirculate water. I didn't get it for this purpose. So I think this is probably the only way to do it with what I've got available. There would have been a lot of liquid transfer today, but because so much of it has evaporated, like these buckets were both full, and I've had a couple of scoops out of each. So now I'll tip this bucket here, I can't do it one-handed, into there, and I'm going to pour all this here into there. See if we can find anything on the bottom. And you see all that black residue, and there would be some in suspension now. A lot of salts there, that's all salt crystals. I'm not really sure why or what they're from, what sort of salt, metal salts it is, but I might just quickly rinse these black precious metals into a beaker, and I'll rinse all this here. I'll put it into a beaker and then let that sit. I don't know when we're going to get another cool day, but as soon as I can, I'll be out there to do the same thing with that one. Hopefully most of the precious metals will be in there, because this isn't much. I'd say that a lot of it went over when I poured it. It also depends too on how efficient I was in the original processes. If I didn't leave any precious metals behind, then there's not going to be much here. So it can be a good sign if there's not much here. Now this won't be just gold. It'll be also silver, palladium, platinum, any of the PGMs. But I hope that's a lot of gold. I can't see why, because I'm fairly efficient when I do my drops. But see, I don't really know how to do palladium and platinum yet. And this is another benefit of having a stock pot. You can just keep putting the palladium back in the system until the day where you learn how to do it. I'm learning to do it at the moment. I'll be tackling it soon. Maybe even if there's palladium in this, I'll have a go at doing it. But for a long time, for years now, I haven't wanted to know, because I just wanted to learn gold and silver, one step at a time. And now I'm at the point where I'm ready to give palladium a go. I'm not interested in platinum and all that yet. So I've just been putting them all back into the stock pot. And then even when the stock pot goes through Stockpot 2, all the copper that you're left with at the bottom will also be mixed with PGMs, palladium, any gold, silver, which, because I put straight back into my stock pot, it all gets back in the system again. So I haven't lost it. So for any of you guys who are wondering, apart from the needing to process and to dispose of acids carefully, another reason to have a stock pot is to make sure you don't lose any precious metals. As I said before, I think I said in the first part, if you make a mistake, if you don't know what you're doing and you make a mistake, or you can't drop the gold for some reason, just put it in your stock pot. Don't stress about it. If you put it in your stock pot, it can't go anywhere. Well, it's the same with me with my palladium, not knowing how to do it. I knew that if I just keep putting it in my stock pot, it'll be there one day when I'm ready. And long before I actually started being able to drop gold, I was making mistakes. We all do. And I had a lot of gold in my first stock pot. I think I recovered maybe an ounce, just under an ounce of gold, because all my mistakes were getting poured into the stock pot. So it's like a piggy bank in a way, but mostly it's to get rid of the chemicals safely. Okay, so we'll put this on hold now. I'll stop the film. I'm just going to pour this one into stock pot 2. I'm going to let that sit, and I'll put this into a beaker, and I'll show you that in a second when I'm finished with that. Okay, so what I did was I filled the bucket up, give the gold that was in there a good rinse, put the solution in my stock pot, and then when I get to the bottom, there's a little bit of stuff in the bottom, but not much. You can see there's a bit in there, and this is just water from washing it. So I'm going to let that settle, pour off the liquid, and put some aqua regia in there and dissolve the precious metals and see what we get. So it's going to probably be another week or so maybe until I can finally finish that last bit in the other bucket. So this will be then the stock pot part 2, and I'll do part 3 as soon as I can. Before I go, I'd like to thank again the new subscribers I've had. It's been great this week. I think I've had 10 or 15 this week. I need every single one of them. I appreciate every one of you guys, and I'll keep saying it. Thank you so much for those who have subscribed already. Really appreciate it. Alrighty, so I'll catch you in part 3. Bye.